All right, y'all, let's talk email marketing. And so before I start, I want to say, I know that email as a whole, email as a medium isn't necessarily going to be a foreign concept to many of us, right? Most of us, I'm willing to bet, have at least one email, maybe one for your personal, one for professional. You might even have one for those promotional emails, all the things you sign up for. So email as a whole, while that medium isn't necessarily unfamiliar, email marketing is something that takes some more concerted effort and strategy if you're looking to achieve goals as a business. It's not as simple as just writing out an email, throwing in some words, what you want to say, and just sending it off. There's a method to the madness. It actually takes some very intentional planning and very intentional thought. So a question that is often asked around email marketing is, I don't know about you guys, but I get tons of emails throughout my day, whether it's business, whether it's personal, or those promotional. And so the question that is often asked is, with all of that noise, is email marketing effective? Does it actually work? So according to a study that was just conducted at the end of 2022, for every $1 spent on an email campaign, businesses see an average return on investment of $32. Now, that is a huge jump for something that's relatively cheap and quick to produce. What's more, 59% of consumers say that an email influenced their decision, which is the highest of any marketing medium, not just digital. So when we come back to that question, I'd say email marketing is definitely effective if we're looking at these statistics. And with that being said, it's important to note that an email without vision, without strategy, really is kind of just a boring message that fills up someone's inbox and takes space and likely is never opened. And so there's a lot of things to really consider when it comes to email marketing. So the first one is figuring out if email marketing is right for your business. Is your business right for an email marketing campaign? So email marketing might be right for you if you have got a clear call to action, or you're offering a promotion. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but your messaging and your reason behind your email is key. Are you simply just sending an email just to send it, or do you have intention? Do you have reason behind it? So email might be right for you if you have seasonal or monthly offerings, something that you need to broadcast at a given point in the year. Something else to consider is if you want to be kept top of mind. So businesses like real estate agents are great for email marketing campaigns because not everybody wants to sell their house every week. But if you send them an email consistently and you stay top of mind, they'll remember you when it is time for them to make that purchase, use that service, or when they meet someone and who's looking for or needs that service. So you're generating that brand awareness and recognition of who you are over time. Email marketing might be a good fit for you if you want to educate a wide audience about your product or service. So we'll talk about this again here in a minute, but if you're looking to broadcast your business to new customers and old customers, email is really good at that. And then finally, coming back to that gaining of new customers and clients. So now, obviously, as business owners, every business wants to gain new customers, new clients, but you can't do it unless you spend intentional time putting in energy and effort to reaching your goals. And so you can do it correctly, you can do it efficiently, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Break down the content of an email marketing campaign and who and how to get in front of your target audience. So let's be honest, it's kind of just reflex to check your email throughout the day. I don't know about you guys, but I will pick up my phone and just open my email inbox. Even if I just opened it 5 minutes ago, I refresh the page. It's just kind of natural instinct. And so what you need to do is, I want you guys to think about what's grabbing your attention when you do that. What makes you stay in your email when you do open your email? What makes you want to engage? What do you take the time to open? And on the flip side, what makes you delete it? If you see something, what makes you exit out of your email? What makes you identify something as junk email? What makes you forget about it in 0.2 seconds? When it comes to email marketing campaigns, there are two different types. The first one is going to be loyalty emails. Loyalty emails refer to when a business generates its own list of emails to send content. So they're gathering emails when a customer makes a purchase, when you sign up for a loyalty program, an event, things like that. So these emails can be a number of different things, but they often look like, weekly or monthly newsletters, monthly promotions, offerings, so on and so forth. I'm sure we can all think of someone that we received these emails from, these loyalty emails. And businesses will often utilize different programs to send out these loyalty emails. These can include softwares like Constant Contact, MailChimp, HubSpot. These are just a few that can help create and send those emails on your own. Now, these types of emails are focused on really reminding current or previous customers, clients of a business's existence and continue to add value to their shopping experience, keep you top of mind, continue to build on a relationship that is already established. Now, acquisition email, on the other hand, is an email campaign that is created to really grow a customer base. So this is a permission-based or email marketing tactic that extends a product or service to those with which a business has never had a previous relationship with. So these are email addresses that a business does not have access to on their own. And these are emails that intend to reach people who have never purchased from the business before, maybe never even heard from them. So acquisition email is really what we're going to be focusing on here today. So having the content that converts those consumers who have never interacted with you and convert them into a customer, that is the primary objective of acquisition email. It is brand awareness and lead generation. Now, brand awareness, a lot of you guys know, right? It is exactly what it sounds like. You are educating people on your brand, maybe even people who have never heard of you, and your goal is to make them more aware of exactly what you do, what you have to offer, why you do it, what sets you apart. You are spreading awareness on your brand. Whereas lead generation talks about the gathering of conversions, and lead generation can look very different for different businesses. So you might consider offering free consultations. You're looking for free consult signups, or you have a very particular offer that's on your website. Those are both different examples of leads. So acquisition email, the goal here is it really looks to educate people about a product or a service, and can also be used to get new customers if you've got the right tactics in place. So when it comes to measuring the effectiveness of an email campaign, your key performance indicators or KPIs are going to be open rate and click-through rate. So how many people open your email and how many people click on at least one link. Now, I say this all, why does it really matter to have all these things laid out? Why do I need to pay attention to these things? And it really is so much deeper than simply broadcasting a message when it comes to email marketing, right? At a consumer's core, regardless of who you're talking to, they long to feel understood and have meaningful experiences. As human beings, that is what we look for. And email campaigns have the ability to deliver that straight to their inboxes because they are highly targeted and they're very specific in their approach. Now, remember, with successful email, you're aiming to solve a problem rather than necessarily just amplifying your business. So the fact is that if your email doesn't add value to a user's life, they are not going to waste their time. They're not going to waste their time opening, reading, clicking, all of these things. Time is ultimately the most precious resource. And so to try to stop to have to figure out what it is that you're trying to say and deliver, right, they're not going to take the time to do that. So what's more to say, I want to throw another statistic. I use 52% of people say that they buy from marketing emails at least once per month. And this is due largely to the fact that email marketing, specifically acquisition emails, can be highly targeted and reach your potential customers in a way that other mediums cannot. but you need to be very clear with your intention and your content. So some quick tips for your acquisition email campaign. It's important to understand your goal. Are you more interested in brand awareness, or are you more interested in lead generation? What are you looking to accomplish with each email? Email can be used for both objectives, but without clear goals, the expectations can fall flat. So the strategy for an entire email campaign is really built off of the goal and what needs to be achieved. And so if you've got a goal, you can know whether you've met it or not, rather than just blowing something into the wind and kind of just running wild with it. So the next is timing. Timing is absolutely crucial when it comes to emails. Our professional recommendation is that emails are sent on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 9 a.m., regardless of your industry. This just tends to be the most common time that people are active in their emails. And so I want you to think about your week. On a Monday, you're getting back from the weekend, you're checking emails quickly to see what you need to catch up on, what you need to answer. Most likely anything that isn't urgent or needs to be answered right then and there gets forgotten or it gets deleted. Friday, you're ready for the weekend, you already took the day off, so there's not really, a chance that you're looking at your email. Then weekends are for family and errands, so you're not actively checking your email on the weekends. So you may check your email, once a day, but studies show that people are off of their email most of the time on the weekends. But across the board, Tuesdays and Thursdays are shown as the most engaging days because consumers feel like they have a little bit more time to stop, look at, and consume the material that is being sent to them. Wednesdays are a good follow-up day, but it's in the middle of the week. People tend to hit a little bit of a slump. So again, Tuesdays and Thursdays are recommended as the most productive time. And 9 a.m. is a great time of day to do it because people are either signing in or they've cleared out their first round of emails. So they're ready for new content to hit their inbox. But all this to say, the right messaging at the wrong time is still the wrong message. So really being intentional about your timing. Finally, understanding your metrics and what is considered to be successful. Email is a largely industry-specific medium, but a good open rate is going to be anything that's considered between 10 to 15% with a click-through rate of around 2 to 5%. So again, there's a lot of very industry-specific metrics that you can look at for click-through and open rate. But for open rate, it's good if it's kind of considered to be between that 10 and 15% and click-through rate of around 2 to 5%. So if you see these numbers, your email has reached a good number of consumers, and we can pretty much guarantee that you've hit your goal. You're heading in the right direction. So again, all of this is fine and good, but now the question is, what do you put in the email? Okay, I understand I need to get in front of the right people. These are the numbers I look at, but what is going to help people that receive your acquisition email turn into a customer or a client? That is going to come down to creating content that converts. So first, we're going to talk about email subject lines. So there are several things that are important to consider when it comes to creating a valuable email and strategy. So first of all, consider the subject line. This is the first thing that people see when an email comes into their inbox. So it is what is going to compel them to open your email. And when they have so many things cluttering their inbox, the most powerful tool for subject lines is to invoke FOMO, or the fear of missing out. It's a very powerful motivator because people want experiences. They want to be understood. And most importantly, they don't want to miss out on something that could potentially help their everyday life. And they don't want to miss out on something that other people could be taking advantage of. So another thing you can do is ask a question that prompts some interest. Make it personal. One that speaks to the problem that you are solving. So here's the thing about email is that you can almost create a problem that they didn't even realize that they had until they saw your email. Then they realize, oh yeah, this is a problem in my life, and this is how this business can solve it. And finally, you want to keep it at around 40 characters or less for that subject line. Short and sweet is going to be the ticket here because they need to be able to read the subject line in its entirety. So the screens your consumers read on are not unlimited, right? It's going to be desktop, mobile, but they've got different sizes. So everybody's settings are different. They're not going to necessarily adjust their settings just for your email. So you want to make sure that it's universally adaptable. And that's the goal, to make sure, right, that everyone everywhere can read it. So 40 characters or less, short, sweet, to the point. And next, I want you to think about call to action. So this really goes back to the goal of your email. What are you trying to accomplish? Your call to action is often going to be on a button or something that's repeated through the copy of the email. So when it comes to your call to action, a single ask repeated is most effective. You don't want someone trying to figure out, what is the messaging here? What are they wanting me to do? It needs to be clear. If a consumer has to work too hard, they're just going to lose interest. They're going to move on to the next thing. Additionally, it needs to be on there more than once. If they really had to search for the button or the link again, they're going to move on. People have got very short attention spans. If they cannot find the link that you want them to click on or the button that you want them to click on, they're going to move on and go do something else. So you want to make sure that that call to action is included in more than one place. And also you want to keep that call to action short. Schedule a meeting, learn more. Again, the clarity there being key. If you want them to know exactly what you're trying to accomplish, keep it short and sweet. And then lastly, you have to make it actionable. A call to action, it seems obvious, but it is something that you'd want them to accomplish, making it something that they can do, right? That they can actually take action on. After all, any kind of conversion is an action. So if there's no action, there's nothing to measure if it's successful or not. And you want to make it actionable in that moment, not 3 days from now. In that moment, if they have to come back to it, they'll forget it because it'll be replaced by another email, a barrage of emails that are going to flood in between the time they get yours and the time that they think about it or want to take action again. So make sure that your call to action is actionable and they can take action right then and there. So next we're going to talk about email frequency. So consider frequency, right? In a perfect world, one email makes everyone you send to a customer. But unfortunately, that's just not how it works. So again, remember, we're going to come back to your own inbox and what stands out. I know for me personally, I probably get 4 or 5 emails from Old Navy every single day, but I may be open like once a week, one a week. Why? Because the message that was sent often enough to show me that there's some kind of deal or new item that I need to be aware of. But when the message was sent, I didn't have enough time to browse through all of their offerings. But when I finally get the time, I like to see if there's anything that I find valuable within that email. So now I'm no way suggesting that you need to send 4 to 5 emails a day, especially when it comes to acquisition emails, but thinking about staying consistently top of mind in front of your target audience so that when they have the time to take action, they will. So the recommendation is really only once or twice a month. But again, thinking they might get your email and be interested, but just not have the ability to look right then and there. And then they get busy and they forget about it. So sending another one, maybe catching them at a better time the next time around. So I already made that suggestion of 9 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, across the board, this is universally accepted as one of the best times, but you really have to find what works best for you. Don't be afraid to, test out a Wednesday one week, test out a 5 p.m. send, whatever consistently gets your best open rate, stick with that. So do some testing, send some different times, some different days, and figure out what really works for your consumer base and your industry. And here's the last thing you need to know when it comes to considering frequency. Do not be afraid of unsubscribers. People think like, oh, unsubscribe, like I'm losing interest, I'm losing people. And I know it sounds a little counterintuitive because obviously we want everyone to open our emails, be super engaged, be really excited every time they get it. But the reality is that not everybody is going to be your customer. So when it comes to acquisition emails, those who unsubscribe can actually help you because now they're being removed and you're not wasting your money on people who are ultimately not going to convert. So it brings opportunity for people to open your email and then fill those spots with new people who are potentially going to actually convert to be customers or clients. So, all right, if you've heard nothing else that I've said this entire time, this is the part that I need you to tune into. When it comes to acquisition emails, especially if you are going the lead generation route and your offer, your promotion is absolutely crucial. I want you to go back to picturing your inbox. Now, remember, you are super loyal to our particular lawn care service. You've used them for years. They're affordable. They do a great job. You know the workers. They show up and they get the job done. You feel comfortable with them. Well, now imagine that you get an email advertising a new lawn care service, and the subject line reads, "Ready to take your lawn to the next level?" You're intrigued, so you click on the email, and they advertise all the same qualities of the service that you know and loved, so you're interested. So you click on the Schedule Now button, but then you get to the website, and they're the same price as a service that you already know and use. Are you going to take a risk and switch providers? Maybe you're more adventurous than me, but if it's me, I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I am already loyal to a service and I know it. I'm comfortable with it. If I'm spending the same amount of money, I'm just going to go with what I know. Now, imagine all of this is the same, but now there is a 30% off coupon in the email. If you are going to save a decent amount of money, it might be worth a shot to try something else and see what this new service can offer. Now, I want to make as much money as possible. I know that that is what you want to do, is make as much money as possible, but it wouldn't you rather, give somebody a discount, convert them over to a long-lasting customer or client, right? If you make your offer included into an email, it starts to make your business enticing. Again, right? It's adding value to your consumer's life. And if you win them over with a price reduction, then the next time you can charge them full price. But it comes down to, how do you get them to take that action right then and there, in that moment, in a way that adds value. And next, we're going to talk about the urgency and the exclusivity. So this really is where you're going to really just encourage somebody to convert. So if the coupon is only valid for 3 days, they will make that purchase quicker. If you communicate that this offer is only good for those who receive the email, they'll feel special. Your business needs to solve their problems, even if it's not a problem that they even knew they had before receiving your email. So then finally, just make this obvious. Put it at the top of your email, put it at the bottom of your email, put it all over your email, what this offer is, emphasize urgency, tell them the action you want them to take, make it valuable and enticing. And last thing, when it comes to message, your email content and the strategy that you're implementing, we're going to talk through message clarity. So something that probably seems the most obvious, but we often see this as an issue, is the message clarity. If people have to struggle to figure out what you're saying, the message you're trying to get, they're going to lose interest and move on, right? Again, coming back to short attention spans, clarity is key in all things marketing. You have to make this message clear. So first of all, let's go back to when you're considering your goals. Make your email about brand awareness or lead generation, right? Making it clear what your message is pursuing, making clear like what that message is pursuing, like what the action is you want people to know about or take action on, allows for them to know the purpose and the point of the email. And again, they'll see it from the beginning, they read it, and they know instantly what you are trying to accomplish. Second, your email should be short and sweet. You do not need to explain your entire business philosophy, your story, what makes you different, all this. You do not need to explain all of that in a single email. The sweet spot for an email should be under 200 words. So ideally, if you can get it at like 150 and under, that is even better. Just what you're trying to do is just pique interest, drive them to your website. And once they're there, they can explore more on their own pace. Think of it this way. If you give them too much information in the email, they have no reason to go and learn more about you or your service you're offering. You want to give them just enough to spark that curiosity. Now, finally, let your reader be a hero. If you are a real estate agent, are you advertising yourself or the house that your reader wants, the reader wants to buy, right? Are you advertising yourself or are you focusing on the house that the reader wants to buy? It sounds like a quick trick question, but at the end of the day, you as the real estate agent are the means to the end, meaning you need to get the reader in a place to picture their brand new house. So let the story be about them, not about you. At the end of the day, consumers care about themselves, right? And you as a solution provider should show them why their life is better with what you have to offer. So you've taken all these things into consideration. You're ready to build out strategy. There's a lot of ways to build a campaign, but here is an example structure. I want you to start with your brand awareness. This should be the first quarter of your sends. Even if you're shooting for lead generation, that is your goal, focus on brand awareness for the first quarter. Someone has to know who you are first. They're not going to use you if they have no idea who you are, if they've never heard of you before. So you need to let them into the most important things about your business, product, or service, and then work on making them your customer after that. The rest of your campaign should focus on your adversible qualities, so including your lead generation strategy, if that's applicable. One final tip is that throughout and especially at the end of your email campaign, you want to include testimonials of real life customers. This helps increase your credibility, your legitimacy. It feels relatable. I mean, how many of you have read reviews before you buy something? I know it's one of the first things that I do on any platform is see what other people have said about it. Because again, there's this increased desire and need for trust among digital consumers. So if you're ready to take your marketing strategy to the next level, consider acquisition email marketing, because this highly targeted, specific email marketing medium, with this, if you're able to pinpoint exactly who you're trying to get in front of, solve their problem, be clear with your message, your intention, and stay in front of them consistently, the results are sure to follow.